most of the leaders who have voted since morning have made an appeal to the voters of Rajasthan to come out and vote, especially the young voters, the first-time voters. Vasundhara Raje spoke about it. SachinPilot, considered a Yuva Neta, a youth leader, he's also made an appeal to the people. But why is this so important that more and more people come out and cast their vote? Because ultimately, in a neck-to-neck elections, it is the vote share that matters the most. And what is the vote share story so far? What is it that they tell us over the years? If you see the vote matrix of 2008-2009 Lok Sabha elections, 2013-14, if you see how it changed from the Bharatiya Janata Party's 37% and the Congress's 34% in 2008, there was a massive upswing to 54% in 2009 elections, whereas the Congress party lost 2% vote. So the change there is evident. 2013, again, there was a dip for the Bharatiya Janata Party of till 45%, almost a 10% vote share dip, but they still managed to keep that lead as far as the Congress party's numbers are concerned. They came very close in 2018, and that led to a change as far as the Congress coming to power is concerned. 39 to 39, but did that reflect in Lok Sabha? Not at all. Once again, the gap was increased as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. In Lok Sabha, if you see 59% of the Bharatiya Janata Party and less than 40% of votes for Ashok Gehlot. And I think that is what Pallavi was also pointing out too, that SachinPilot camp has made this argument that you promised Ashok Gehlot the Chief Minister's chair, because there were Lok Sabha elections immediately after Assembly elections last time around, and it did not really translate into votes there. This time around, how can you depend on him once again to get you the Lok Sabha numbers? Pallavi Ghosh, in fact, is here with us to discuss this story further. Aman Sharma is also live with us from Jodhpur. Ashok Gehlot will vote there in a while. But Pallavi, just to take that argument further that we were discussing earlier too, dependence on assembly numbers in Lok Sabha elections, it seems that there seems to be clear-cut message from the voters that how they choose in Vidhan Sabha doesn't really reflect on their choices in Lok Sabha. What does that really mean when Congress party, if the Congress party has to choose between Gehlot and Pilot?
Well, I mean, example is there in 2019 itself. If you remember, the main argument why Ashok Gehlot was made the Chief Minister then, and I remember I was standing outside Rahul Gandhi's residence when this decision was being taken, is that fact that Gehlot, because he has a supporter, a largest number of MLAs, because he has an experience, therefore he is the only one who can ensure a good performance by the Congress party in the next year's Lok Sabha election. That didn't happen. Congress got 0 seats in Rajasthan. Vaibhav Gehlot too lost from the and Chief Minister's son, so he never won from there. If you look at Madhya Pradesh, I think that's the only state where you at least had 1 seat, and Kamal Nath ensured that his son Nakul Nath wins from Chhindwara. So this argument has not really worked in favor of the Congress party, and should the Congress come back to power this time round, I'm sure this time round SachinPilot is going to make pretty much the same argument, that the argument you gave last year didn't click, so why not this time round? We've got another 5 years left to go if we are in power. Lok Sabha may not have an impact on it, and 2024 Lok Sabha elections are also going to be as much about women as it is about the young or the first time voters, and that is where I think a SachinPilot would put forward his strong pitch, a relatively younger leader in comparison to Ashok Gehlot, also someone who took on, mind you, Ashok Gehlot on the paper leak issue. He did a dharna for 2 to 3 days and kind of forcing the top Congress leadership right over here in Delhi, also at the state government, to come out with a law on this, and paper leak suddenly came at a large amount of attention as far as the Gehlot Sarkar goes. So even within the Congress party, he's seen as a rebel with a cause, or with a good cause, because that's what I heard from many of the people, of course in Tonk, where they're going to but naturally support him. But even those who are very critical of the Congress party said that at least SachinPilot stood up for us. So many do see him more of left or right of the Congress party in a good sense, of course, and the supporters of Ashok Gehlot, of course, will always consider SachinPilot to be someone who helped the BJP and who is against the Congress ideology.
In fact, even in Gehlot's home turf of Jodhpur, Pallavi, when I was moving around, there were youngsters who were talking about SachinPilot and him raising the issue of paper leak. But Aman, as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, it's very clear. For them, this is actually leading up to Lok Sabha. For them, this election is all about the Prime Minister. They're seeking vote in the name of the Prime Minister and his governance.
Yes, absolutely, Arunima. Their slogan was Modi Satho Apno Rajasthan. So the slogan was very clear, the picture was very clear on all posters. It was Mr. Modi, all the leaders said so, that vote in the name of Mr. Modi, because BJP realizes, Arunima, this is also an election year, in Karnataka, for example, the Modi factor did not work as much as the BJP wanted, because it's a southern state, it's a non-Hindi speaking state, but BJP feels that in a state like Rajasthan or MP, which is a Hindi speaking northern state, the Modi appeal remains very, very strong. Even in an assembly election, it could bring dividends to them, and especially when you don't want to project a clear chief ministerial face, you feel you lost the last election because there was anger against Vasundhara Raje. That is why I think the BJP pitched its election totally on the face of Mr. Narendra Modi. There's a long line of voters here, in fact, at the compound where Mr. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will be voting in a while. तो भाई साहब, मोदी साथे अपनो राजस्थान की गारंटी पे वोट डलेगा अशोक गहलोत की, क्या लगता है आपको?
अरे हम तो अशोक गहलोत को ही वोट देंगे साहब। हम तो शुरू से ही कांग्रेस को देते आए हैं
जी।
हम तो जानते हैं, हम सीएम तो जोधपुर का है, बोली कोई पार्टी को, ये बोली बीजेपी में होता है कोई होता है, सीएम तो जोधपुर का है, हमको उसको ही देंगे। जोधपुर का है सीएम, फिर क्या चाहिए अब हमको? जी जी, हमारा यही चाहिए।
तो अशोक गहलोत जी अगर नहीं जीते इलेक्शन, कभी ये बात है कि बीजेपी बड़ा स्ट्रांगली लड़ रहा है,
तो इलेक्शन है, क्या मालूम पड़े, वो मालूम थोड़ी पड़ता है।
पर आपको लगता है ये गारंटियां जो अशोक गहलोत जी ने बोली इलेक्शन में, उसका
निकल जाएंगे?
हाँ,
अशोक जी तो निकल जाएंगे ना, तो फिर क्या है, अपन को यही बहुत है।
तो जो गारंटियां अशोक गहलोत जी ने कही इलेक्शन में, महिलाओं के लिए 10,000 रुपए बोला है, कई और चीजें बोली है, आपको लगता है उसको लेके भी वो लोग वोट डालेंगे?
वोट तो डालेंगे ही। वो गारंटियां, ये इसने काम बहुत किया है, सड़कें बनाई है, योजना है शिक्षा के लिए, और मेडिकल में 25 लाख का बीमा 50 लाख कर दिया है, इसलिए ये तो जीतेगा ही।
जो चिरंजीवी स्कीम है आप कह रहे हैं?
हाँ, चिरंजीवी स्कीम लाया है, अनेकों स्कीमें, पहले से ही स्कीमें ज्यादा थी, और अब ये गारंटी वगैरह लाया है, योजनाएं तो ये अच्छी लाता है।
कांग्रेस ये भी कह रही कि गहलोत साहब नहीं आए तो ये सभी स्कीमें बंद हो जाएंगी, आपको लगता है वो भी एक बड़ा मुद्दा है लोगों में कि स्कीमें ना बंद हो जाएं?
हाँ, ये भी
कर दे तो वो बात करेगा साहब।
अगर बीजेपी की सरकार आई तो ये योजनाएं बंद हो जाएगी।
वो तो अपोजिट तो करेंगे, कुछ
Clearly, Arunima, if you see people here and they are all Ashok Gehlot supporters in Jodhpur, clearly saying that अगर Ashok Gehlot चले गए तो स्कीमें बंद हो जाएंगी. Is that a major factor in this election? Because if you see all the advertisements of the Congress, the campaign on social media, they are basically saying that this Chiranjeevi scheme in which 25 lakh insurance has been given to every family, in medical insurance has been given, all these schemes will be stopped if the BJP comes to power. So that is also the Congress campaign telling the voters, vote for us or all these schemes and guarantees will go away.